My name is Clara Mon, and I will be talking about my internship that I did with Tueller Counseling. I'm a senior in the Marriage and Family Studies major. I'm about to start my last semester, so I did the internship during that 7-week summer block, and I did my internship through Tueller Counseling. Tueller Counseling is a counseling center, but they also do lots of community work, and they have other programs besides just the counseling. They do classes and different substance abuse, domestic violence classes, or group therapy as well. To find the internship, I actually just went to an event that we had on campus. I'm sure many of you seen through different majors that they will put out announcements about different interviews or just informational meetings. So during this informational meeting, they said you could bring your resume. They might be doing interviews afterwards. So I brought my resume and we came to the informational meeting, learned quite a bit about the company, and then I signed up for an interview right after the meeting. So I met with them then, and then they followed up for a second interview at one of their locations, where I again met with someone else from the company to do a second interview. So I would highly recommend going to all the events that they announce for our major. An average week included lots of different things. Here are just some of the responsibilities. One of the main things that you can use to learn is shadowing community workers. The community workers are either skills builders or case managers or peer support. So the skills builders work with individuals from all different areas of life that are wanting to work on skills, whether interpersonal skills or life management or coping skills. These are the skills that the skills builder community workers are working on. And then they have case management, which really just helps with the logistics of life, making sure that they have their needs met, that they are able to live independently and take care of those things, that have a backup plan if their housing falls through or things like that. Um, and then peer support is exactly like it sounds. Also, as interns, you can take on pro bono case management cases, which I did as well. So I was able to have my own client that we worked with to be able to meet their physical needs. So, along with shadowing the community workers, you can also work the front desk, and these are shifts that you can sign up for. So, you do things such as answer the phones, check in clients as they come in, cancel appointments when they call in or in person, um, and kind of those front desk tasks that you'd normally expect, along with some paperwork. So, those would be the discharge forms, and then they would also have intern client or intern projects throughout the semester that you could work on. For us, that included going through the resource binder that they had that just listed all the resources available in Idaho Falls, Rigby, Rexburg areas, making sure we had the correct information so they could use those for their clients, or making different DBT skills booklets. Those are just some of the intern projects that we had during our semester block. So there are ways that I was able to benefit the company, which included helping accomplish those projects. Like I mentioned, the binders, resource verification, along with other projects and events. We also participated and helped in company events. So they had a Celebrate Youth event that we helped volunteer at. Also, we assisted in paperwork tasks, helped with the check-in process. Towards the end of the internship, there was a time when the company themselves was a little short-staffed, so we were able to fill in and help with those front desk tasks that they needed. We also were able to provide case management services. Like I mentioned, I had my own case management client. I learned personally lots of things through this internship. I think the biggest thing is insight to careers. That's hopefully the goal of every internship, is to help us see what careers we would really want to pursue. So I got to see more of the logistical side of what being a counselor would look like, along with what it would look like to just be a community worker, work in the community. And I got to see all different sides of that, as well as the logistical HR kind of side. And also, kind of like I just mentioned, like the practicality of social work. I also, by shadowing lots of skills builders, got to see skills building techniques from a variety of different individuals. Also, case management experience as my own client, office experience, which will be helpful in any position, and DBT skills, so different coping skills and mechanisms each week. An intern at the counseling center during our intern meeting would teach us about a DBT skill from their booklet, so we got to learn about those more in depth as well. This definitely tied into things that we learn in our courses. The biggest two for me was my Psych 342 class, Abnormal Psychology. This class is not required for the major, but is super helpful if you plan on pursuing a career in counseling. So the first, some of the things that really came out to me or came out during the internship was learned helplessness. So that's something that they teach you very clearly in the psych class, and you got to see that with a lot of different clients you worked with. So I was able to understand more where they're coming from and why they did what they did. Also, mental health disorders in general, understanding what a diagnosis is, understanding the DSM-5 coding system, so that's how they did their billing. It helped make a lot of the things that the counseling center did a lot clearer and understand why they acted, or why they planned for the treatment as they did. Along with that, the Family 220 class, which is a parenting class, a lot of the skills builders worked with youth or minors. And so it really took seeing the individuals. It could be really easy to get in routine as your job to just do the same thing over and over again, but using the anatomy of peace principles taught in the Family 220 class to see the individual to get out of a box, so to not come in with a preset expectation, and also learning how to connect with the client before correction to really have a full effect in helping them grow. Lastly, I would recommend this internship. I feel like it helps you see things in several different aspects and helps you understand better what you want to do. Just some things to know if you are considering this internship. It is unpaid. You also work in all three locations, so you will need transport from Rexburg or wherever you're living to Idaho Falls, Rigby, and Rexburg. All three locations are part of your internship, which also gives you insight into whether you like a bigger office, a more middle-sized office, or a smaller office. It also requires being proactive to get shadowing hours. You are up to your schedule is up to you and how you want to get the most experience you can. So it is totally in your hands. So there's a lot to learn, and you can if you want to. If you are interested in the internship, Laura Linsenman is the employee and manager over interns. Her email is right here. And if you reach out to her, you'll be able to learn more and set up any type of meeting or interview that you'd like to do. So overall, this was a great experience. I feel like it all applied directly to my major and helped me see more insight into what I would want to do as my career long term. And I look forward to applying all the skills that I've learned.